Hang on, people. I want to do a follow-up on that Nova Scotia shooting. When I did the video, they were only saying 17 died, not one of 22. And they're saying this is the worst mass shooting in Canada's history. 14-hour rampage, risen from 2219. Look, I don't know what kind of media. Y'all got the same media we got in the U.S. They just lie and protect government. Why is it the media asking why the hell did it take 14 hours? Now, later on in this article, it reads that, the investigation was hampered because the guy was driving a look-alike police vehicle. To me, call me stupid, to me, we call that a clue when you have a distinct vehicle that looks like a cop car that you're looking for. To me, that makes it easier. What, does every car in Canada look like a cop car? And so this guy picks a cop car, so it was really hard to find him? I mean, this is, to me, colossal failure on government. Failure to find a guy, failure to notify people, failure to get down and lock down an area, failure to respond to crime. I mean, just total failure on government, causing the death of 22 people. And the government and the media, everything I'm reading is they're making excuses about how the guy was so bad and playing so good. But they don't know anything about the shooter. They don't know motive. They're not saying anything. Someone said this guy was a cop wannabe and he drove an unmarked police car and then he killed the woman in the police car and he took their car and he took her gun and he used the police guns to do a lot of these murders, so they're trying to cover it up. But a lot of the news, a lot of people, it seems to be, they're scared in Canada to comment. I don't know if you guys can get in trouble for speaking the truth there. The U.S. isn't quite there. We're moving there, but we're not quite there. Oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to add this in. So here's the shooter, and they say that he's had several properties that he's owned in this area. So he has 3 different homes, evidently, that he's owned. And they reported one of which is a clinic he used to work as dentistry, so he was a dentist. Let's see. He was wearing a uniform. Let's see. In 2014, the shooter, which the media really isn't putting out, was a decent guy. So how did a decent guy go to a bad guy? The shooter in 2014 read a story about a cancer survivor who lost her teeth and couldn't afford to replace them. He offered to make her a pair free through his dental procedure. My heart went out to her. There are so many ways that for people to get dentures, but it seems like the people who really need them are the people who are getting left behind. So the guy had a heart, unbelievable, like government will not say, because they're going to make him the most evil man in the world. One, because he's white, and we can push that all white people are bad, and that agenda goes. And he used a gun, so all guns are bad, and all white people that own guns are bad, and now we can push it for more gun legislation. Anyway, I wanted to add that in. So the 51-year-old man is the one that did it. Death toll, attack, Tuesday, timeline. I mean, when did this happen? Did they say? I'm thinking at least 2 or 3 days ago. And they still have nothing about this guy. Where was his first motor? How did he go? How did he avoid the cops? Why did the cops failure? Why didn't you notify? Why didn't after the first 3 shootings? What happened to other people that heard the shootings? Why did it take 14 hours to get this guy? This is a colossal failure on the government. Saturday at 22:30. And today is, Wednesday. So this is like 5 days ago. And they still won't release anything about the government failure. Because that's what I'm calling this. Total government failure. You know where government isn't failing? Is they're calling for more gun control. Shocking. It's always the gun. When government fails, they always blame the gun or blame the people. So, let's see here. I thought it says somewhere what we know about the investigation. Focus on learning more. You've had 5 days. You don't learn. What the hell are you doing for 5 days? You all sitting around freaking eating donuts? The hell? You got 5 days. You still. The gunman hampered because he was driving a vehicle that looked like a police cruiser. How does that hamper? You would think. Okay, here's a tip for you Canadian police. If a guy's driving a police car, all you got to do is drive around and look for police cars. I mean, how freaking hard is that? Is there that many cops that a guy driving a police car could hide in plain sight? Is that what you're telling the ignorant people that believe this shit? This is total government failure, as usual. And government's response? Take guns away from citizens who didn't do anything. Let's blame people that didn't do a damn thing, and let's take away their rights and freedoms. Colin did a good video on this. Hang on. So Colin had some good film on this. And again, if you don't know Colin, or I call him Colin, is it Colleen? Shit, I don't know. I call him Colin. Sorry, dude. CN is his Hattermoto. He does some good Second Amendment stuff. I like the guy. I know some people are like, he's an NRA guy. You shouldn't like. Well, I like the guy. Every video that somebody sends me on him is a good video, and he makes great points. He seems like a good dude. So here's this video, part of it.
Leading police through multiple communities with a number of structures lit on fire, an officer saying he might be driving a lookalike RCMP vehicle.
This is a lookalike. You can't see this. What's with all the rainbow crap? What is Canada? Whatever. I don't even know. What they got horses on their cars? Oh, maybe they are because the Royal Canadian Mini Penis, or I'm sorry, Small PP Police. Whatever. Here we go.
Vehicle and lock their doors as officers swarmed in on the hunt.
Listen to this video. Officers swarmed in on the hunt. 14 hours later, they killed the guy. And the media just made it look like they got a call and they swarmed in and killed him. Wow, you guys got some lying media like we got in Canada.
It is armed and dangerous and on the gas station in Enfield, about 35 kilometers from Chase, for resolving the attack.
Right now in Canada, you have to register all handguns and semi-automatic rifles. You can't even buy a gun or ammo until you undergo a licensing process that requires training, a personal risk assessment, 2 references, spousal notification, and criminal records.
Holy shit. That's a lot of shit to own a gun. I can't believe I had Canadians here cracking on me saying, we can own a gun here. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, holy shit. If you got to give up your left nut firstborn to own a gun, I'm not so sure I call that having the ability to own a gun.
Check. There is no concealed carry. You can't even keep your guns loaded in your house damn near. Not to mention, you can only have 10 rounds in your handgun and only 5 in your rifle. Not to mention also, you can't own a gun for the exclusive purpose of self-defense in Canada. You can only have it for sports shooting and hunting. Defending yourself with your gun is considered an unfortunate byproduct of a firearm ownership, and you will be treated like a criminal if you actually use your gun in self-defense.
That is just freaking crazy. How does a people get to that point? Okay, the old saying, you can vote yourself into socialism or communism, but you have to fight your way out of it. I just don't get how people, and I get the same thing from Aussie and UK people talking about, oh man, we can't defend ourselves. Somebody breaks in our home. If we try to stop them, we'll get charged with a crime. How do you let government get so out of control and so much power? And yet all these places that have what I call these self-defeating rules that just kill people, they all want to come and crack on America saying we have too many guns and we have too many rights. I just don't get it.
Against a criminal. Now, I know you're asking, but how does this prove that the ultimate goal of gun control is to ban guns? Canada hasn't had a shooting this deadly since 1989, where a gunman killed 14 women. Now, take a guess what they did after that shooting. If you said...
They do what they do every time. It's the gun's fault, and if we only had good, reasonable, sensible, good, strong gun control, common sense, we could have saved everybody. Yet every place that has all the good, common sense, great gun control has knife crime, has gun crime, has murders. You don't stop evil by taking guns away from good people. It's the most absurd thing, and I don't understand how anybody with 2 freaking brain cells can buy into that shit.
Completely overhauled their gun control laws to be more strict? You'd be correct. So take a guess what they're going to try to do now after this shoot.
Of course they're going to try to do it. Look, Colin does a great video. If you want to go to his channel, look at it. Again, hit the subscribe button, hit his like button, so people who have channels that are trying to get the information out will still be around, and at least YouTube will think they have some value versus their left wing. We want to stop anybody that doesn't push our agenda. All right, we'll end that there on the Canada shooting. We still don't have any information on it. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a pretty good government cover-up to me. We'll end that there.